Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FML FPL. Okay! Welcome to FML FPL Milan.
It's Walsh.
The cup is live, baby. The form is up. Sign up for the FML FPL 2025 Patreon Cup. Link into the description. I feel rejuvenated.
Yeah. Cup cometh.
Something to play for. Just like in real life. Play for. That's what they do the fucking cup for, right?
Yeah, a little weekend, cheeky weekend, little diddles.
Yeah.
We were going to do it for 21, but we pushed to 22 so that everyone can get their perversity out of their systems for prepping their teams and getting them ready.
All minus 16s this week. Yeah.
They're coming. That changed the game for me because I was like looking at my team. What am I doing? Yeah, we'll get into that. But I think let's just do it live. What actual fuck are we doing about ass fuck man
my
chip?
God, I love this. Yeah, we're just going to do it live. So ass man chip, wrinkle in the game, huge wrinkle in the cup. Usually chips are fine because they feel a little bit more balanced and they're not worth that many points and they only last 1 week and yada, yada, yada. Everyone kind of waits for doubles and like all that shit that it kind of feels fair. But ass man chip is like if one team plays it, another team he's playing for points, he has a good rank and wants to save it for later or whatever. They're like, pretty much no chance they're going to get out of the group, right? I mean, this person is probably getting like plus 10 points a week because they're probably picking, Slaughter or Mateta and has 3 or 4 games and they'll probably win at least 3 of them. And it's just like, you can't compete with it. I feel like it's too overpowered for a cup game. So my initial thought was like, we just shouldn't even count it. Doesn't exist in the cup. But what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated. I think it's hard to say because typically it would be like using a chip for 3 weeks in a row, literally.
Yeah.
So if you use it in the group, it would give you like an enormous edge to get out of the group.
You will make knockouts.
If you use it at the beginning of knockouts and you try and cheekily not, you have a big edge for every of your first 3, head-to-head matchups. But it's also just like, you could just get 0 points from it. Like the team you pick loses.
Barely. It's barely possible, I think, to get 0 points.
No, but in a given week, I mean.
Oh, in a given week. Yeah.
Yeah, like the team you pick, you picked Bournemouth and they just lost. And you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. They lost 2-1 and you get 0 points from it. So it's, I don't know. I mean, because there is an element where it's stupid. The chip is obviously stupid and horrible, and hopefully it doesn't exist past the first season.
Yeah, there's so much randomness and whatever.
But it's also like so insane that I feel like it's kind of good and funny to like have it. Yeah, just for the storyline, or is it just too much feels bad?
Well, because I like, for example, I like the idea of like, you're 1-0 in the groups or even 2-0 and you're like, okay, like I can plot my course a little bit. I'm going to have a high seed in the knockouts. I'm going to ass man chip second week of the knockouts to try and like ride it to the finals before I like triple cap in the finals. Like I like that. I like that kind of thinking and strategy. But I don't like the idea of like X number of teams just ass manning slot because Liverpool have a double, making it to knockouts and they're like not good teams. And like, all these other teams got knocked out because they have good ranks and they're saving the assmanship for a better week or something. I don't like that, because I do think it is that powerful. I mean, obviously you can whiff, but like the fact that a team win is 6 and a goal scored by the team is 1. I mean, if you just pick slot any game week and you're pretty much guaranteed like at least, 18 points or something, like 2 wins and a draw is 15. They're going to score 3+ goals in that time too, you'd imagine, right? So maybe 20, like minimum. And that just feels insane.
But over the course of 3 weeks,
over the course of 3 weeks. Yeah, over the course of 3 weeks.
Then it's like,
Then it's just
cheeky extra dong.
Then it's just a premium midfielder, basically. Extra on your team.
Your 12th man.
Your literal 12th man. They average 7 points a game week. Minimum. It's a 270 point player.
I think we should keep it.
Let the points fly.
I think it's just
let the blood rain from the skies.
So much more like chaos and banter. Someone's going to be sitting there like, oh my God, if Potter wins for West Ham, I'm going to lose my entire life. And like that is hilarious.
If Dyche gets an underdog win, I'm knocked out of the cup.
Yeah. It's like if Dyche clean wins against Fulham, it's like I win the cup. And like I think that's because it's also fucking funny.
Arsenal win, score 5 goals and clean, and I'm through. It's like
because it's also fucking funny that you could transfer them within the weeks. Like,
within the week.
Yeah, like you could do Dyche to Slot to fucking Areola or something, and you can be. I think it opens up a huge different like strategy thing of people. I don't know. I think it's just. I mean, if you win the cup, it's fucking bullshit joke luck anyway. Like, who even wins the cup? It feels like nobody ever wins the cup. It's impossible.
In a way, like fantasy sports, right? They're supposed to sort of imitate real sports, right? There's nothing more random in life in soccer than who wins a fucking knockout tournament. Like, you don't have to be the best team in the world to win the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League. Like, you can just get out, or the FA Cup. Yeah. Obviously, it helps, but like, you know, Man City only won it once in the last 8 years, you know, or whatever, or last forever years. And just like, I don't know, I guess it adds a bit of randomness and fun for the cup. Okay, it's in. Forget about it. It's in. Yeah, right. There's IRL cups this week and this weekend. So our next pod isn't going to be till Sunday night, I think we said. It'll be the next Patreon episode with the next Tuesday deadline. And then, the cup will start for Game Week 22, which is Saturday, the 18th deadline. So you can sign up. Even if you're not a Patreon subscriber, you can go there and click like buy this post if you don't want to sign up to Patreon
if you
for
don't
whatever
actually
reason.
like us.
If you don't actually like us, but you just want to play
just
in
try
the
and
cup.
win something, then
just
you
try
do
and
that.
win a kit or some shit.
If you actually like and want to support us for more than one action, then subscribe. Like, rate, and subscribe on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Reddit, Twitter, Blue Sky,
fucking Bumble,
TikTok,
Hinge. Swipe right on us on Tinder. TikTok. Fuck us. Dying to be fucked.
Just fuck us. Come on.
Just get down on the ground and start fucking. Okay.
The next actual pod is going to be next Thursday, the 16th.
Yeah, the next like normal pod.
It's almost like it's an international break. The FA Cup is like an international break. It's
FA Cup is. Yeah, it is. It is. And they moved it so that the FA Cup's on the weekend and doesn't clash with the Prem. And all 20 teams are playing the FA Cup. I don't know what the fuck's going on, dude. But all right, back to FPL. That's like the longest intro we've done in all season, I think. But it had to be done.
That was serious.
That was serious.
Podcast, matters had to be decided.
That was a meeting.
Look at this. Look at this guy.
What is that? What are you holding up right here? Hold on. Let me put you main screen again. Oh, no. Wait, hold it.
Can't see.
Oh, I can't see it.
Our friend.
Oh, let's go. Boop, 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 boop. All right, look at Team Walsh here. 73 points.
Same as everyone else. What are you going to do? Every week. It's every week. Everyone has the same team.
I know.
Barely move. Nothing matters. Everything is the same. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I got 65 points.
Transfer worked. Gordon. Didn't work.
You got +6 on the transfer. I got +9 on my transfer. And I still got a fucking red arrow. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, you don't have Mo, but, yeah.
I mean, that didn't even hurt me this week. It's just like Boomo and, I don't know, cheap cleans and Wood.
I had an actual green arrow until the NFO game today.
I had a green arrow.
It was completely obliterated.
Yeah, I think Sam, actually, even though I have Milinkovic. Just, Wood hauling and Cells hauling and whatever.
I can't believe I started with cells and I just fucking ripped him out as fast as I possibly
That's
could.
becoming lore. Like that's fast.
I do it every year,
lore.
don't I?
Yeah, like whoever you take out early. Because there was who else? You took out someone else early. We talked about this like a couple pods ago. You took someone out after all they did was like
I took Mo out. That was Ollie last year.
Ollie last year, Mo this year.
Oh god. Anyway.
Yeah. Bowen was the one I was thinking of.
This year.
You had Bowen. He got you 2, 8, 5, 5 out of the team for
Not
forever.
good enough.
Yeah, no, it's bad pick. 20 points in 4 game weeks. I hate when my players get 20 points in 4 game weeks.
Return every game. You're gone. I could do better.
My favorite thing about your team is fucking Howson, or as you call him, Hudson.
Hudson. He's incredible. He's like my favorite player.
He's unbelievable. Yeah, he's as good as I built him up to be.
Because I think in my team that I've started him. I think I've started him every week. I didn't start him at Fulham.
You benched him at Fulham, right?
Yeah,
and that was his 1-pointer.
8, 8, 14, 2, 2 is my return on
that
him.
Is fucking ludicrous. That sounds like the type
really
of player
good.
you would have started with Game Week 1 and gotten rid of right about now.
Yes. Or like Bumo, like all he's done all year is return constantly. Like, you know
Bumo is worse. Bumo's on another stratosphere because it's 2.5 years of being like unstoppable god and we still managed to talk our way out of him. But dude, the best thing about Howson, he's fucking tied with Trent for second all defenders for bonus points. He started 9 games. It's 11 bonus points.
It's an easy game for Hutchins.
9 games, just max bones 3 times and 2 bones against Everton this week. That's fucking
he's a fucking god. He's a cheat code. He's so good.
He's so good.
Unfortunately, they have some really bad fixtures starting immediately.
That is the problem. So when are you going to start him in like the upcoming future?
I'll start him home NFO.
Home NFO in 23, at Southampton in 25.
Wolves.
Home Wolves in 26. So still 3 out of the next 6 will start him. Yeah, that's not bad.
But no, it's not time to buy. Let's just put it that way.
They have good homes. Yeah, no, not time to buy, but they have good rotational homes. Because even after those, there's App Brighton at Spurs. You don't want to start him in either. And then it's home Brentford, home Ipswich at West Ham, home Fulham. It's like, oh, great.
He only has one home game. Yeah, he only has one home game the rest of the season that you wouldn't start him in, and that's Liverpool in 24.
In 24, right.
And every other home game, you're happy to play him. So that's a good little cheeky guy. I mean, I ideally Hutchins is here for the duration for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me update.
You know who's not here for the duration?
Who?
Anderson. Anderson will not be on my team for very long.
Mr. Anderson has just been doing bits for you.
I've had him since like October, and he's gotten me 2 points in like 4 stars. I've just been holding him forever, and it's been the worst thing of my life. He's so bad.
You've hated him for 8 years.
Forever.
And then you bring him in, he's red flagged. He lasts in your team red flagged for months.
Well, he was not red flagged when I got him. He was fine.
No, I know when you got him, but I mean, he was just on your bench red flagged for transfer after transfer after transfer.
When did I get? Did I have him for the Brenham game or the Wolf? I don't know. It's been a problem.
Let me see. You got him game week 12. So you got him for home Wolves. He got injured. When he got injured he got 0 points and they got destroyed by Wolves somehow.
And he got hurt. And then I've held him until now, and he's gotten a grand total of 2 points since then. And I've started him for 3 game weeks. He got 0 points. No, I've started him for 4 game weeks. He's got me 2 points.
Oh, because you started him on Southampton.
Yeah.
And he didn't get off the bench. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, let me do the December mug winner. So that's already done. Emil Deshpande, a.k.a. Jota Catch-em-all. Pokemon ref. We'd love to see it. First place, good job by him. Jack Baxendale, a.k.a. Holland Odes. Second place, and Big Ben Martins, a.k.a. third PB&J. And third place, great job by all of you. Love to see Ben winning a mug. Those are all in the mail. January
we have to get
leaders,
him a different size mug?
Probably should have, yeah. Just his hands are probably
32-ounce mug. So his hand his
6'7"
hand can fit in the fucking hole or whatever.
It's too big.
He's
too
just
big.
like this.
Yeah. It's like, it looks like a little like thimble or something in his hand. And then January leader so far in the mug league, Luke McCarthy, aka Slotty Too Hottie, Craig Wood, and can't give me a damn mug, and then a bunch of people tied for third. So we'll monitor that as that goes. Let's do a pod.
What have we been doing?
You know what I mean? I mean the meat. Remember back in the day, like season 1 FML FPL, when we had a script? This was called the meat and potatoes. We were like, okay, and then we'll move on to the meat and potatoes.
Don't make fun of us. Past
we were
us.
So dumb, young
we were
and dumb.
So young, dumb, full of cum.
Yep. And
no, we were trying to figure out how to pod.
We were trying to figure out how to pod. Yeah, it's hard.
Fucking hard.
Podcasts in general haven't even lasted that long. They've been around, 15 years, and we've been podding for 10 of them.
Is that true?
I don't know when they started. When did they start?
When did Billy first start podding? I feel
When's
that's
the
when
first
the mark of time.
podcast?
That's like BC and AD. It's just like, when did Billy start podding? Then it was a real medium.
Yeah, when did Bill Simmons' podcast start? Let's see. 2007.
Yeah.
So 18 years ago. We've been podding for 10 of them. Pretty good. God, where should we start? We got a lot of questions about forwards, control, defenders, mids. Today's game, whatever. Yeah, fuck today's game. Wolves should have scored like 8 goals. Didn't score any. Maybe let's start with mids. We got a lot of questions about mids, and we spent a lot of last spot talking about Bumo and Gordon and Diaz, and I feel like after last pod, I was like, okay, Bumo's the one. You should get Bumo. I should get Bumo. Last second, I got Isak instead of Bumo, and then you got Gordon instead of Bumo. Bumo scored 500 points, even though our guys returned. It was obviously not good for us, but a lot of the same questions. I mean, shots.
Gordon should have braced.
Yeah, he could have braced, and Isak could have braced. The shot said Odegaard out for Bumo or Gordon. Brian Ozzy asking about bringing Bruno for home Southampton. Bruno. Jitterbug, who to buy this week between Gordon, Bumo, and Savio. Do I do a straight swap of Diaz to Gordon?
Sav the lad on the menu.
Yeah, let's just talk about these for now, because these are all sort of the same price bracket. I mean, Bumo is still obviously number 1, right? Yeah. I can't really get around that. I mean,
let's not get it twisted. I was never getting him back.
I kind of knew.
You knew.
But I like that it's on record that I'm like, he's the best. He's the guy. It was
on record for both of us, I think. Yeah. We both were like, he's the best one. But
yeah, I threw an Isak wrinkle into it and got him instead. But
I think Isak's a better pick than Bumo. But when we're talking,
that's why I got him.
Yeah, no, that. But from the midfielder standpoint, the power rankings of the midfielders, because we had a big My Life section on that, right?
Yep.
Bruno is insane. I don't know why would anyone be bringing him?
Because home Southampton.
Because one game.
Yep.
That's a madness.
He got 7 points and played well against Liverpool, so he's on everyone's mind. And then he has home Southampton. Time for
that. I have no time for that whatsoever.
Wait till we get to the captaincy section. You're not going to be happy.
God. All right. Well, Bumo, Gordon, they're both just great. Like, Gordon looks great. Newcastle are doing things, and they're both just clearly the best options in the non-Mo and Palmer midfield. Yeah. I mean, that should be everyone's 4 midfielders.
That should be everyone's midfield. Yep.
Yeah.
No one should have Diaz or Jota or Bruno or Odegaard or
it should be those 4.
Even fucking Eze. Like, it should be those 4. I totally agree.
They're just head and shoulders clear of everyone else. But
yeah.
Some of us still have Erling Haaland, you and I, right? So you can't afford that. So we got to cook with some cheap meat, some extra fat in the ground beef.
Yeah, I mean, I can, because I don't have Mo, but I don't. I have Diaz, and I have Emile Smith-Rowe, and I have other fucking randos that, I might just take a -12, or maybe I should just fucking wild card this week and set up for the cup because I want to get my team in order for the cup. I actually feel motivated for the first time since like game week 1 to like, I want to like win some cup games and advance.
Well, then you should wild card next week.
Yeah, I guess so. But if I wildcard this week, I get to roll the free. Then I'll have 2 frees and my team will be set, right?
I think it's better to roll now and then and just wildcard into the actual best team next when the cup starts. But
yeah, maybe I will do that.
Either way,
I agree with you totally. Diaz clearly falls down the pecking order. This is what we've been afraid of, right? He gets the 59th minute sub. He was also really bad. He's still playing an unfamiliar position, and he played it very badly. He still won't start every game, right? Jota's fitness,
we imagine. Avenues.
Yeah, he has no avenues. I also like a thing that I forgot to talk about when we talked about him last pod is like it's so hard for these guys to get bonus when they get subbed off early, also, or even when they sub on and get a return because minutes factor into the bonus, less actions, less good things to farm, right? So. He hasn't gotten more than 1 bonus point since game week 5, despite scoring lots of goals and assists in that time. He's just clearly way below them. What about Savio, though? He's in the ring now, right?
Definitely. He looks the last 2 games. He's actually making decisive actions. Like he's not just losing the ball in the middle third. Clearly playing on the left is, giving him probably less to have to think about, and it's a lot more straightforward for him. It's like simplifying the game a bit. But, look, he's got 14, 13, and, a little bit advantageous. 2 of those returns were, massively deflected the goal, and then one of the assists from the own goal or whatever that happened this week. So, but he's making things happen, and it looks like there isn't a ton of competition over there for him right now based on who's available and how everyone else looks for City. They could buy some.
Kind of called out Jack.
Well, whatever. But he's also 6'5", so he's a little bit cheaper. These other guys are 7'5". So if you can't afford one of the other guys, 6'5", he's definitely interesting. He looks like also it was the first time I've ever seen Haaland, or not ever. It's the first time since September. Seen Haaland like smile at the play of someone else.
No,
like because typically when it's Savio and Doku all season, he's just like he doesn't even make runs because he's like this fucking shithouse is gonna kick it out for a fucking throw in or something. But like they actually seem like they're maybe developing some bit of chemistry and. Maybe he's he's like 20 also. He's 21 or whatever. He's so young. And, maybe he's just kind of finding his feet now after a lot of erratic performances so far this season. We've been pretty critical of him because he hasn't played well this season. And it looks like maybe he's just turning a corner. Maybe it could be happening right now.
It's very like FIFA to be like, oh, this guy's left-footed. And even though he's played on his whole career as a left winger and left mid, on Girona and shit, he'll just go to the right and start scoring goals. But it's like, well, maybe he is just a left winger, actually, because he's played like 2 games there now, back to back, and they're the best 2 games by far of his season. And he's just a lot more comfortable on his strong foot. And maybe he's not a cut-in merchant. He's just like doing lots of other great creative stuff. And so, it seems like something's been unlocked a little bit there. And his numbers legitimately are phenomenal. Like his underlying numbers are out of control. Like
off the page.
Yeah, like putting
everything.
Like the goals, the scoring numbers are good for a winger, not amazing. But the creative numbers, I was looking back at like some past season comparisons. It's pretty much only Trent and Kevin who've put up, if he were to maintain this throughout the season, which is not a guarantee, but if he were, then that would be only Trent and Kevin. And since the Premier League's been keeping like the XA stats and stuff like that, that's the level he's been at so far. So. Yeah, and they still have at least 2 really good fixtures for goals at Brentford, at Ipswich before a few hard ones. Like you could do a lot worse there. I think I'd rather have him than Eze. What do you think about that comparison? Like Eze, Semenyo, Murphy, Sarr, like that's like kind of the guys, right? In that zone.
Yeah, I definitely prefer him to Sarr. I don't know. The fixture, it depends how you see the fixture run. And I think it also matters a lot of the rest of your team. Like this spot, because do you think Savio is really going to be like a long-term hold?
I think it's possible.
He could be, but you're also looking at after the next 3 fixtures, Arsenal's tough, Liverpool's coming up. Like, they do have a couple tricky ones. I mean, home Chelsea should be okay. Home Newcastle should be fine. And then home Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just because they play Arsenal, Liverpool 2 of the next 6 or whatever. Like, then the rest of the fixtures are really good. So if you're okay to hold through that little tough patch, he could be good. But it's also, back to just, he's played 2 good games and he's 20. Yeah. So he could play 2 bad games.
Imagining here. Yeah.
Like he could play 2 bad games and then he's just doesn't start for a couple games because he's 20 and they have Champions League and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Doku gets a game and Jack gets a game.
Yeah. Which isn't hard to imagine either. So there's a little bit of like you want to kind of try and ride the crest of the wave with him because it looks like he's playing well, but it also can just, like we've seen so many times before with Pep wingers or just Pep attackers in general, just be vanished before your very eyes. So there's so much uncertainty with the pick. Whereas you look at Sarr, Eze, who have good fixtures, and I mean, Sarr, I don't know if we're going to buy some right winger or something, but, generally they have no competition for their spot. They're going to start every game, not going to have to worry about it, not going to have to spend a transfer on. I guess, like, you have to weigh that.
Is Sarr still better than Eze, you think? That was Zhao's question. Kind of interesting because he's clearly still further forward, but Eze is starting to at least shoot 5 times a game and kind of like put up those Eze kind of numbers that we were used to, pre-injury.
It's when I don't know that Eze has pens, I think it's like a big issue.
Yeah, I mean,
you're playing on
half a pen share. Yeah, I mean,
he's taken 0 of 1 pen that we've won this year. So when you don't have the free goal and you watch him play, when you don't have that buffer to be like, I might get a free goal, like the shots are bad. I mean, like they're bad shots from bad areas. Yeah. A lot of his shots just have been getting blocked this year. Yeah. There's just something really, really off about him this year. I like to see him just ripping, but they're just, against Chelsea, it's like, he's not scoring a goal. I mean, he had a good chance that he fucked again. Like, welcome to 2025. Another big, like every single big chance he's had this year, for the most part this year, he's just fucked. And, Sarr could have had 2 returns easily in the Chelsea game. Like, he was way more threatening. He was like a dummy away or a pass away or a Mateta shot missed away from getting returns. I still think Sarr's open play, like, a lot more likely than Eze to return from open play. Okay. But if Eze's going to get a pen, then forget it all. He's still taking some of the set pieces. He's direct frees and I don't know. I'm just watching. I'm just like, oh God, like what is going on with you, dude?
Yeah. So who do you think would be your favorite if you were shopping in like this kind of zone? Eze, Sarr, Savio, like Murphy looked great. I'm glad that I got him. I feel good with him. I mean, I think...
Yeah, I mean, Rogers should be named.
Yeah, Rogers is in there. Yeah. He's suspension over, yeah.
Yeah, he has 2 really bad fixtures, but then they're good for a while. At Everton, at Arsenal are the next 2 for Villa.
Yeah.
He's 5'5". I think it's, just all these guys have their issues. It's kind of like, what can you afford and what are you looking for? I mean, I'm interested in Savio, honestly. I think it's just like kind of a gamble that just seems interesting because, he might just be insanely good and he's just showing us now. And it's like, oh my God, like this is Sane or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's possible.
I was thinking about Sane because I couldn't think of it's just been so long since Pep City has had a winger that wasn't like, this guy might score 15 goals. Like they've all been kind of that, they obviously also do winger stuff and also get some assists, but it's been a long time since it's just been like, I expect this guy to get like 15 assists and like maybe 5 goals, and like just play on that. He even said it in the post game. He was like, it's kind of like an old school left footer on the left side and a right footer on the right side. And it's like, it's kind of fun. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. Which is great for Holland.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So I think I would probably gamble on Savio over Eze right now. And just see what happens. Like, I don't think that you're going to get killed there. And I think the potential, like, I think the ceilings are very different and the floors are very similar.
So I'm tempted to just like and maybe I'm just biased because I own him, but like I still think the Murphy punt is like still really tempting in the same sort of way where obviously he's not Savio, like the way Newcastle are playing with home Wolves, home Bournemouth, at Southampton, home Fulham. I'm just like, dude, he's fucking on it right now, and like it might be short term. Like 3 weeks from now, I might be like, oh yeah, he's not a pick anymore, but. Right now, it just feels like, man, he could get any number of returns in any of those games. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean he's 5-1. Yeah, I would definitely want him over Rodgers, for example.
Yeah,
similar.
Yeah, Rodgers fixtures are tough. Away Everton, away Arsenal. It's like
yeah, I definitely like Murphy over Sarr. Just cheaper and basically the same pick, but it's like interesting with Murphy just watching him play. He's like stands out so much on the team as like no one else plays like him. Like he just like gets the ball and just like does a direct thing. He just like does a thing.
He knows what he's going to do. Talking about old school wingers. He is fucking old school.
It's so but he's like he doesn't like fuck around. He doesn't take extra touches. Like he just like drives. Like he's like I'm going here. I'm doing this. Like I'm going to this place. I'm passing or I'm going here and I'm shooting. Or it's like. It's nice. It is a really nice balance. Like he does offer a lot to the team in fairness.
Yeah, and I think also just like playing with someone predictable must be such a breath of fresh air. It's like I know exactly where he's going to be, and I know exactly what he's going to do, and like being the other players have more freedom around that.
Right.
And he does so much defensive work too. So I feel kind of ridiculous not having like Hall right now, right before the aforementioned home Wolves, home Bournemouth, away Southampton, home Fulham. I'm just like, what am I doing? Like I feel like almost everyone should be tripled up Newcastle, even if it's just for 4 game weeks. It still feels like now's the fucking time to me.
Yeah. I mean, like I have Hall, Gordon, and Isak, but I mean,
that's the standard 3, right?
Yeah, but I feel like my team would be better if I had Murphy instead of Gordon because I am sitting with an Enzo spot and like that, like I could have, a 7 million midfielder instead of Gordon and like I could have Bumo instead of Gordon and Murphy instead of Enzo.
Bumo and Gordon. Bumo and Murphy as opposed to Gordon and Enzo is just way better. Way better. Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I mean Murphy enables a lot right now. If you believe, and I believe, I choose to believe.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah. Let's talk about defenders. Speaking of Hall, I mean Mike asked about a formation change. We got the same question last week, but I still think it's worth it. And he said Jedi, Munoz, Hall, Gabriel, Trent. Most of them I would rate above the vast majority of the mids. Is it time for a 4 or even 5 at the back? And then Gavi and Jao asking about Konate in your eyes. Where does Konate stand among the likes of Munoz, Hall, and Aina? And dude, I know you're going to get Munoz this week. I need to get Munoz this week. This is, again, it's like I'm taking a fucking minus 50 this week, right? Like, God, Munoz and Hall just need to be in the team right now. It feels insane. Like I'm getting such FOMO without them.
Yeah, Munoz especially just because it's
crazy.
A big chance, like a really big goal scoring chance every game. And I mean, he could have had.
And creating.
He could have had 4 assists this game. Like every single chance that we missed was his assist. And the amount of times I wrote Munoz assist denial in Discord was many times. Peaking, it was written many times. And he's just playing.
4 key passes in the stats, but all of them were like at least average, if not better chances. So it kind of undersells it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's something. He's something else right now. He's really on it. So he's definitely my number 1 guy. He's also like 4'6" or something. What is he? 4'7"? He's just a joke. He's so cheap. And I mean Hall got 4'7". Really penned back against Todd. I mean I should never have benched him instead of Anderson. He got 2 points instead of 1 from that fucking shithouse. But he got really penned back against Spurs, and benching him felt really good because he was just not in the final third really attacking at all. But the next few fixtures, it's going to be a lot of attacking. And he just looks, he's just also, the delivery is good. He's on some set pieces. He gets on the ball. He takes shots. Now he's shooting a bit. Like he's just great.
And he's clearly nailed that spot down. And then I think I just expect their defense to just be better, full stop, with dropping Dan Burn. Now that Botman's back and Char did his suspension.
If he actually does it, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I assume he will, but
we assumed he would
makes an ass out of my face.
Tonali instead of not play him after they bought him for 80 million, but he didn't do that for fucking 6 months.
A long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just so many teams this specific week. I just had this kind of like thought the other day. It's just like faded in the second half and just like clearly ran out of gas. And Newcastle were definitely a prime example of this. They were the early game on Saturday, and it was just like they did nothing for the last like 50 minutes of that game almost. Spurs were just all over them, and they were just parked. And a bunch of teams, I mean, Chelsea kind of played badly, Arsenal kind of played badly, Liverpool played badly, all kind of ran out of steam, and the other team was putting all the pressure on late in the case of Palace, Brighton, Man United. I just think everyone's fucking dead after the pileup. I really just think like everyone was dead. Every team had some sort of fucking sickness around, and random players were out of the squad and whatever. And this break between now and Game Week 21, I just think is huge for every team. And like you were saying with Hall, right? It's like he got penned back, but the whole team was penned back. But
yeah,
I just don't expect that to happen basically at all in the upcoming games. And he's going to be right up there in the attacking third and putting in tons of crosses and stuff. Yeah. So,
and I guess it matters who plays in the FA Cup, like which teams.
Yes,
I mean, like we're playing Stockport or something. I'm like, we better make changes. I don't know. So we'll have to see who's playing strong or who's playing a good team or something like that. But yeah, if a lot of the teams are taking the weekend off, that would be, good for our purposes of like expecting the good players to be good again and the good teams to be good again, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Arsenal, Newcastle, Spurs, and Liverpool have the semifinals of the other cup, the Dorito Cool Ranch Cup. And so I imagine those teams like have to play backups in the FA Cup because they're going to probably play some of the first teamers in that shit. So they'll all be rested at least, and then we'll see about the other teams, I guess.
Right. What do you think about Robinson? Because Fulham were dreadful with Bassey. Bassey keeps playing every minute of every game.
I think
biggest issue.
I think they're absolutely on the list of teams that I was just listing of just like, oh, they just put in a stinker. Everyone was tired and bad. And I think he's a great pick. I just think, Fulham will still be good defensively and they should be fine. And, West Ham, Leicester, Man United on their roster, like on their fixture list, like fine, good picks.
Yeah.
The fact that two of those are away probably means it's behind Munoz and behind Hall for me, but still really good picks, I think.
Still good, yeah.
Yeah.
I was a year early on Kirkez, huh?
God.
He fucked me.
You got him for the double
time.
And he completely fucked you over.
I think he got me 3 points in the double or 2?
I think he got you 1 or 2 and then was benched in the next game. Didn't he not play the second game? I think that's what went down.
I thought he got 1. I was accounting that for 1+1 or 1+2.
Oh, maybe he subbed on. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kirkez has just been fucking phenomenal.
He's been great.
And we were talking off air about like who has been the best left back in the season because Gary Neville put Gvardiol, which was really funny. But yeah, it's either him or Robinson. I mean, there's no other competition really. Maybe Hall is throwing his hat in the ring.
It's definitely not Aït-Nouri. Oh my
definitely
God.
Definitely not Aït-Nouri. Definitely not Robertson. Definitely not many other left backs have been bad. Yeah. Konate, I don't know. He
not interested.
Will starting every game, assuming he stays fit. And I think a lot of that will aid in Liverpool's defense, maybe returning to the form we saw in the early part of the season. So should get some cleans. I don't know. Not terrible.
Just like I don't think this day and age that like a 2-6 merchant is worth it. Kinda.
Yeah.
Like I think I think we're supposed to be rotating defenders. Like I think we're supposed to be playing defenders based on fixtures
on the season.
Yeah, it's not great. Like I just feel like that's the way that the game's kind of traveled, where like so many of the teams are good or good enough, and they like how many dominant like Liverpool's not like some fucking dominant defense. That's
nope.
They had glimpses of that at the very beginning of the year when they were fully fit and off the preseason shit, but lately they've just been, a top 4 defense.
Chances.
Yeah, and top 4 defenses are good. That they're definitely a better defense than Newcastle or Fulham or whatever. But
NFL
you're paying a little bit extra for no attacking threat. Like, what are you doing there?
It's no attacking threat, and it's also, I mean, the bonus isn't just attacking, right? Like, Howson wouldn't be getting max bones if he played for Liverpool instead of Bournemouth. Because Liverpool oftentimes score 3 to 5 goals, and then all the attackers get all the bonus. And so Konate might have started, or any Van Dijk, whatever, starts in a 5-0 win. They don't get any bones, but Howson can play in a team that barely can score 1 goal, which is Bournemouth, and then he just fucking farms bones because all he does is complete a bajillion passes at a 98% clip or whatever. So.
Yeah.
It's just tough to make up for that. For forwards, we got mostly N-Dot, Nico Jackson questions. Platty said, I think a lot of us want to sell N-Dot. Who are the best forwards to pick outside of the obvious Isak, Mateta, Wissa, Wood all seem viable. Yuval, Nico Jackson, deep dive, Voltaire, N-Dot versus Wood. One keeps missing, the other keeps scoring. Easy swap. What would you do if you had N-Dot right now? I mean, would you just hold for a good run?
I'd sell him. Yeah. I would definitely sell it. I made the comment in Discord sort of offhanded, but I mean, to have a forward who isn't on penalties is insane. The more we look at the landscape of the game and that every single time your forward scores a goal, he gets 7 points. You need 3 shots of free goals every game. It's stupid not to do that.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of forwards on pens. Just get you. I think that's a mandatory prerequisite now, the way the bonus points are. That it's the same thing. We're talking about Bumo I think this is a very similar of Bumo to Luis Diaz. Is N-Dot is like Luis Diaz of forwards.
Or even Gordon. Even Gordon, who's playing great.
Sure.
Bumo's still ahead of him.
Sure. I mean, it's a much more narrow comparison in midfield because there's one Bumo. But for forwards, we have 6 strikers, even Cunha, right? I mean, we have many strikers who are on pens, and they're all, I think, better than N-Dot.
Cunha has 15 more points than N-Dot. He plays in the bottom 4 team in the league. And a lot of those are just pens.
Yeah, maybe Wood has Cunha, maybe 1 or 2. I think Wood's got. Yeah, I mean Wood, but that's the thing is Wood, Isak, Cunha, João Ladro. I just think it's crazy. I think you have to have pens from your forward. It's just even with I was talking about Gakpo earlier, and
he has no pens. Cunha has no pens.
I think he has 1. Doesn't he have 1?
I don't think so. Never mind. I'm an idiot.
I thought he had 1, but even Watkins, I'd rather have Watkins than N-Dot, not even close.
Yeah. They would have to be, we've talked about this, I think in the case of, Darwin in the past or other forwards in the past, they would have to literally be doubling the underlyings of someone. Nico would have to be he could score fucking a hat trick every game type of chances for him to be above someone like Watkins, even though his team is better. The players around him are better. They attack more. He's going to get more open play chances. He would have to be that much better because every once in a while, Ollie's going to get an 80% chance of a goal for doing nothing, for doing literally nothing. Someone's just going to head it into someone's fucking arm, and he just gets an 80% chance of a goal. The best chance Nico Jackson will get all season. He just gets for free.
And it's 7 points.
Yeah, and it's max bones, right?
It's 7 points. The goal is 7 points. It's not 4 points. It's 7 points.
Yeah.
And it's, you were talking about the bonus points from Hodgson's earlier and compared to, Konate who has 1. It's you looking for Hodgson's, he's gotten a goal and a couple cleans or whatever recently, right? But the last 2 cleans they had, Everton 1-0, home Palace 0-0. He got 2 and 3 bonus points.
That's
getting
insane.
5 bonus points from the defender in addition to just getting that's an extra game and It can't be overstated enough, like how big of a swing the bonus points are. Insane. Like when you have someone who's good on bonus points, it should tip the scale like tremendously in their favor.
Yeah.
As a selling point to actually, click him and not someone else. And just by not having pens from the forwards with the options just end out, I just don't see the argument.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. The other forward question we got was Parmo. He said Jesus to Mateta with the eyes emoji, classic. He said, I can't sell JP before Ipswich, but I so badly want Mateta, third striker being Isak in my team. I mean, what do you... I have to say, I'm also very interested in Mateta in this moment. I just think the run is tremendous. He's inconsistent and weird, and that's kind of what we love about him, but like, he's getting the chances. He's fucking nailed. He's taken the only pen they've gotten all season. I kind of just want to run with him for 10 game weeks and see. Maybe I'll catch lightning in the bottle like the end of last season.
I mean, it's not what you're going to want to hear, but I just think getting him over Wood is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like you're just thinking so hard to try and do different for different sake when Wood is just obviously better.
He's just there. Yeah.
And, I don't have confidence that Mateta has pens. If Glasner came out and said Mateta is the number one penalty taker, different conversation. Yes. Then I think he is definitely a better pick than Wood right now. But otherwise...
He will never say that. Spoiler alert.
He will never say that. And I do believe that Eze will take the next pen if we even get another one. I mean, we've been getting no pens because... But, I mean, we've just... I think that's the simplistic version of things. And, Isak's auto, and I think João Pedro should be auto in everyone's team. I think he's probably the second best forward next to Isak. And, yeah, like Wood, Watkins, like I don't prefer Mateta to these guys. I just don't.
Yeah.
But he's a fun punt.
Yeah, he's a punt. For sure.
He's fun. I mean, we have good fixtures and he runs around and he's limbs and he tucks his shirt on and shit.
And he flicks, he flicks. I love a flick.
Yeah, he back heels. Back
heels. Yeah. What else? We have some other questions here. Oh, I like this one from Barrack Lad, longtime listener. He said, this season, seemingly more than ever, a lot of picks are rewarding those that patiently hold. Rodgers, Wood, Bumo, just to name a few. 2-part question. Who do you think is currently in this bucket that's likely to come good soon? And conversely, which players do you think people are having too much patience with and should simply get rid? So a little bit of one good, one bad kind of thing. I mean, Ladro is the easy answer because he already came good, but like like we held him. We learned our lesson from Bumo and held him and he came good.
Yeah, I mean, Delap also just put up an 11 and an 8 just for, again, being on pens and just standing on the field, like gets a great return, right?
Yeah.
After he was on a really barren run for a while. And, we both like him a lot. We've been singing his praises this season as someone that's coming good. But it's hard. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, in terms of I'm looking at the teams. I'm just trying to think to like in my head.
I know.
Because then you have players that just like Kai, like disaster. Like people at El Kai, absolute disaster. Or like Smith Rowe, right? Is like, oh my God, after he had those first few returns in the first, like just enough returns at the beginning of the season to be a decent pick. And then he fell off a cliff. Like people that
Odegaard, he's
been horrible.
Been horrible, but also could just, get 2 pens in the next 4. And it's like, oh yeah, wish I held him. He could absolutely do that.
Kudus, where do you put him?
Get me the fuck away from him. Although they sacked fucking Lopez shit face, so maybe they'll be good again. But because he does pop whenever you watch them play. It's like, oh, who's that guy? But I don't know. We need to see their lineup and see what manager they get or whatever. If it is Potter, I don't know, but. I certainly wouldn't be holding him if that's the question.
Where does Enzo fall in this after?
Oh God!
Blank. Can you please tell me?
Yeah, he might get an assist soon. I think.
Fuck me.
He's due a random assist or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was just kind of unlucky. I don't think the process was wrong. He could have gotten returns in like almost all of these games.
It's just baiting me because now it's home Bournemouth, home Wolves, at City, home West Ham. At Brighton, at Villa, home Southampton, home Leicester. Like what? am I doing?
Yeah, but what are you going to do? Not get Bumo? Like, not get someone good?
Well, we haven't. Yeah, we have to come on to our. Well, we're going to do that on the next pod.
Oh, yeah, I guess we kind of answered Barrick's question. Malva said, who would/wouldn't you start over Wood home Liverpool? Oh, I guess a lot of people are in this situation.
There's no other options of...
you didn't give any options. We just have to imagine who's the eighth attackers on these teams.
Like, would you start at Manchester United?
Like Rodgers at Everton?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. But it's not like great. I don't feel confident about that. The way Liverpool have been playing, they're conceding chances to everyone.
It's the thing with Wood that so confounds me is like watching them today too is just there's so many times that they counter and he's just not even in the fucking screens. He's so slow.
Yeah.
You know, like it has to be a very like the turnover has to happen in the middle third for him to have any fucking shot of catching up to play. And it's just like, how does he score? How has he been scoring all these goals? It's just so crazy.
And he gets under 2 shots per 90. Like, that's really bad.
Really.
Like no striker in the league gets that.
And he's just like leading the league in goals. It's crazy.
Monster chances and scores all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets no touches and no shots, and he is fucking 20 goals this year.
He gets less shots than Delap.
He has 12 goals this year, and he probably has about 20 touches all year.
He's like, if Haaland were good.
If Haaland were good.
But
I mean, if City had Wood instead of Haaland, they'd be
they'd be top of the
league.
It'd be them and Liverpool fighting.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
I think you just start Wood though this week. Like, don't think about it. Just
probably start Wood in most cases.
Don't play your fourth defender over Wood. It's like just fucking start him. And
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the fixture list. I mean, who has like an absolute banger that you'd want to start anyway out of these backups? Like, I'm not really seeing one. And like, okay, if your defense was so stacked that Lewis Hall was your fourth defender, like, yeah, I would start him over Wood. Home Wolves, fine. But that's like one guy that I could even imagine being on someone's bench.
It's also hard. It's kind of hard to imagine what your defense looks like when that's the case because, like Arsenal play Spurs. That's not a great fixture. Like who has?
Yeah, like Chelsea, I mean, it would have to be like your double Arsenal and Trent. Munoz and Trent or something, and you're just like, yeah, I guess I don't know what to do. You know, I can't bench any of them. Like, I would bench Wood in that team, but that's like the only example I could think of. Like, none of these, like Jacob Murphy's your eighth attacker in some world. Like, yeah, I would start him over Wood. Home Wolves,
yeah,
for sure. But this is like less than 1% of teams are in this situation, so I don't even know.
Yeah, that's true.
Super Hands, what's the point of me having Delap gather points on my bench every week? Basically, is the eighth attacker spot dead? Speaking of Delap.
Is it dead?
Yeah, I mean, no one's getting auto subs. Who's getting auto subs? Never happens.
Well, they almost just had a little bit too much snow in Liverpool, and there were going to be some automatic substitutions there. But
they canceled one game from the wind. Yeah.
We've been talking.
Illnesses. I don't know.
Illnesses. Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least you're barely spending anything, right? Like, it's not like having 5.6 million Delap is preventing you from getting all the other good picks in the game. I think you just chill. Having good picks is good, even if they're sometimes on your bench.
Yeah, but it's awful when you keep making the wrong decision.
Feels bad.
Yeah, but
you'd rather that than have fucking, I don't know. Dib God. You're just like, if he ever auto subs in, you're expecting 1 point.
Well, sometimes he gets 2. He kind of stopped getting yellow cards. I love to see that.
Yeah, he's learning.
He
quickly.
Rapidly accumulated 5 and then he just stopped getting them. But
said that was bad.
Yeah. Oh, God. Delap's great, though. You're like, fuck, you want to start him.
He's just so fun to watch, too. I think that this year, more than past years, I mean, obviously there is a template. There's kind of like a core. But there's 20 other guys that I think are could be in a really good team. There's not 10. Like there's
it's a
so
bigger
many
pool.
guys where I'm just like, that great pick. Like fucking start him every week. He's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I watch him every week and he scores all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just you're just gonna get burned no matter what.
I think we also haven't mentioned Clivert, like in the same mold of just.
I've been throwing him out there to you. I've been throwing feelers out, and you're just like, no, fuck Clivert. But like, yeah, he just gets points.
He doesn't really get that many points, but I think the big issue with him is that he subs. So you're missing so many minutes.
Some percentage,
just a huge percentage. It just adds up so much incrementally over time. But I mean, how many non-penalty goals does he have this year? 2?
Probably 0.
I think he doesn't have 6 pens, does he? He has 6 goals.
I think he has 5, right? I think Evan Nielsen's won like 5 pens or some shit. Let me check.
Okay, I knew he had 4 pens, but yeah, it might be 5. So I mean,
5. 5
so
fucking
5
pens. Evan Nielsen took 1 and missed it, and then Clivert's been 5 for 5 since.
So he has 5 pens, 6 goals, 2 assists. I mean, like, how is that a pick? It's a pick, I guess. It's a pick. He's 5-5.
5-5, starts every game. He does
subs
get
off every
some
game.
Open play chances. Like he's not like
he's just fucking
a complete worthless like CDM who never crosses the halfway line kind of guy. But like, yeah, you're basically getting him because there's just chance of pens. Evan Nielsen's apparently very good at winning pens. And, he has more points than fucking Semenyo, who we all had in our teams at some point. He has more points than Sarr and Murphy and Matoma and Martinelli and no one has ever considered him. Like,
5-5. I don't know.
Yeah. He's totally fine.
Totally fine.
He'd be on 7 goals if he had pens all year, and he'd be above, fucking Son. He'd have more points than Son if he took all 6 pens.
Yeah. I mean, I might be getting him in. I don't know.
Yeah. He's just add him to the list of randos that could be in a good team that I wouldn't be mad about. But like, I also don't think he's one of the best, 8 attackers you could get. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking confusing season, man. Last bit is just captaincy. I know we save captaincy for, the Friday Night Life, but just we got questions on it. X50 and Malvo asking about Bruno cap, and then Slim Charles and Ozzy asking about Isak cap. I mean, it's the 1 week in a very long time where Liverpool have a much more difficult attacking fixture than some of the other options. So Chelsea are home Bournemouth, City are at Brentford. Where's Isak?
Home Wolves.
Isak's home Wolves. Arsenal are home Spurs.
That's Isak's the one that's very close. I think it's very close.
Isak and Holland are in there. I wouldn't go Palmer. I wouldn't go Palmer.
Palmer might kind of like low key not be a captain option kind of ever. I feel like
I know
it's so hard to tell when he's going to score. Like I feel like it's so unpredictable when he's going to get points. But
as of right now, I'm on Isak, Cap, Holland, Vice. That's my current. I mean, setup.
I have it on Mo because he hasn't blanked in 3 months. But
yeah, speaking of pens,
I could go Isak's. At the weekend fixture or the FA Cup, team sheets might sway me one way or the other.
Yeah. There's no fucking way he's playing. I think even Eddie can get out of his own way for that because he's going to play the fucking semifinal Carabao Cup and then he's got to bench him in the FA Cup. I mean, he's just...
Yeah, you'd think so.
Tyndall, please talk some sense into Eddie.
Start Tyndall up top. Like fucking...
Literally start Tyndall. Who fucking cares?
I don't care.
You're owned by Saudi Arabia. You don't need to play every cup game.
Yeah.
Just like try and make the Champions League.
Holland, I just feel like always has a hard time when he has to play against 3 center backs.
Oh yeah, you have been shouting that. Yeah,
I hate that. I've always hated that. For him. But Wolves are a joke. Like they're an actual fucking joke of a team. The
new manager bounce has not been bouncing.
Over. It just ended.
I don't even know if it started.
They have no idea where they're supposed to be. They have no shape. Like today was stunning.
They started 3 center backs, and 2 of the center backs were Doc and Nori. A washed-up wingback and a fucking
one center back in a formation where they were asking of 3 of them to play this position of center back, but only one of which were actual center back. Yes,
and then Pedro Lima at fucking wingback.
Yeah, like it's. Do I think Liverpool are going to go to NFO and put up 5? No. Nuke can do that against Wolves for sure. Like I for sure believe that could be a 4-5-0 like, just joke of a game. So I don't know. I probably won't go off Mo, but I'm gonna think about it. Yeah, because I do think I think the fixture discrepancy is significant enough that it's actually worth thinking about this week.
And the form too. It's not insignificant. He's scored in every game since game week 14. Isak. Newcastle look great. They're creating tons of chances in every game. That matters to me a lot. I mean, I just don't.
Mo also was. You could say the same thing about
of course, Mo. But we all know Mo is doing that. But it's Isak's not just like, oh, he has randomly a good fixture. He's not like some punt. Right. It's like he's probably the second best pick in the entire game. He's probably leapfrog Palmer at this point. So
yeah, I agree. I think he has definitely.
Yeah. So all right.
Maybe it is Isak. Maybe it is time to go against.
I think it is. All right. We'll see. Let me slap asses 4 beautiful new Patreon signups and asses for me to slap. Braden Tegenfeld, Robert, Mike Lockwood, Neil King. Something ass, baby. Get in there. See you all in the cup. Sign up for the cup. And any last words? Check us out.
Godspeed. See you tomorrow, Titter.
See you tomorrow. Check us out at FMLField.com. Follow us on Twitter at FMLField. Support your page.com/FMLField. Subscribe, rate, review. Cheers.